Here's somebody called Peter Baker. I don't know who that is, but he's got something he wants us to know. Citing, he says, a non-existent crime crisis, Trump plans to take over the Washington, D.C. police and put troops in the streets of the nation's capital. Contrary to his claims, violent crime in D.C., this guy says, is at a 30-year low. First of all, Trump doesn't plan to do any of that. He's done it. He's done it. He's taken over the Metropolitan Police Department. He has troops on the streets. And in case if you're wondering if that's one particular wacko, these are all posts from the usual left-wing accounts, ICNX, all saying the same things over and over again. DC violent crime hit a 30% low. You know, crime is down 35% in DC. DC is my home. Violent crime is down 25%. They can't even get their numbers right. Oh, this is utter BS. Crime is at a 30-year low. In January, the Joe Biden Attorney General said crime was at a 30-year low. Really? Are we supposed to believe that? Or are we supposed to believe our dirty, lying eyes? More of this. Violent crime is at historic lows in other cities too. Baltimore, cities across the country, all their crime rates have collapsed. How could this be? How could this be? I mean, the DC Police Union doesn't believe it. They're grateful for the support. I'll come back to that in a moment. Stephen Miller again. Crime stats in big blue cities are fake. Fake. The real rates of crime, chaos, and dysfunction are orders of magnitude higher than the crime data is telling us. Everyone who lives in any of these cities knows this. We program our entire lives around the omnipresent threat of violent crime, of property crime, of personal crime. Democrats are trying to unravel civilization because civilization will not vote for Democrat policies. So Democrats have to unravel civilization. They have to burn American society to the ground so they can rule over the ashes of a people who will not vote for them. And President Trump will, of course, save our society. The new Democrat talking points have gone out. Violent crime in D.C. is down 26%, a new 30-year low. There's just one problem. They're lying. There's an ongoing investigation right now by the D.C. Police Union that's revealed police all over the city are being pressured by command staff at crime scenes. Captains and lieutenants are showing up, pressuring the officers on the scene to downgrade violent felonies to ensure they don't show up on the FBI or Metropolitan PD violent crime databases. One police commander was already suspended just last month. This is happening in Democrat cities all across the country. And here's just the headline: DC police commander suspended, accused of changing crime statistics. And it's not just one guy. Obviously, this would have to be systemic because it's in the interest of Mayor Bowser of the Metropolitan Police Department for the crime stats to look better. And they have the means to manipulate them. So that's exactly what they're doing. Here is CNN. CNN. Let's hear what they have.
And I think Mayor Bowser may also know that there's an ongoing investigation in her police department over the potentially manipulation. And I think Mayor Bowser may also know that there's an ongoing investigation in her police department over the potentially manipulation of those statistics. That there have been a downclassing of some of the crimes. There's been a massaging of the numbers and the reporting in order to fit them more beneficially into the FBI crime stats. So she may know some things that National Democrats are not paying attention to.
That National Democrats don't want to know. And of course, it's not just DC, it's everywhere. Gavin Newsome has ordered California to stop reporting crime statistics to the FBI. This has been going on for years. And now Gavin Newsome has the gall to debate safer states, southern states in particular. Gavin Newsome looks him straight in the face, this contemptible beta liar. Looks these southern states straight in the face and says, well, your southern state, Alabama's twice as violent as California. Alabama, maybe you should sit down and shut up. and it's not twice as violent. California just stopped reporting its crime statistics. So if the statistic is not written down, apparently the murder or the carjacking or the armed robbery or the grape, it didn't occur. It doesn't exist if it's not in Gavin Newsome's crime data. DC police, we just saw doing the same thing. Chicago, Baltimore, New Orleans. They stop arresting low-level offenders. So I guess the low-level crimes are no longer happening. And then the Democrats say, oh, look at the crime data. The crime has gone down. Even the homicide statistics are lies today. Now, you might think, traditionally it's been the case, that the homicide statistics were the one stat you could rely on, that couldn't be gamed, because there's a dead body. And how do you hide a dead body? Surely that has to be captured in the crime states. And that's still true. But what's changed in America that makes comparing homicide rates today to homicide rates 20 years ago irrelevant is two major factors. One is our hospitals, especially in urban centers, have got damn good at trauma care, especially gunshot wounds. 80% of people now shot with a handgun survive if they're in an urban center and close to a level 4 trauma center. If they're alive when they get to the hospital, they're probably going to make it. 20 years ago, they might have died. So it's the same crime. It's the same violence. But they just happen to survive because our medical care is better. Because the cops are all walking around today with what on their belts that they did not have 20 years ago. I carry one in my laptop bag. I have them all over my car, in my home. Every responsible adult should have one of these in reach. And I'm talking about a tourniquet. It changes everything. So when the homicide rate goes down today, it's not because the violence has gone down. It's because the people aren't dying because we're saving their lives. Another big factor in all this is cell phones. Because now everyone has a direct line to 911, no matter where they are. When I was coming up and it was 2 a.m. and I was young and stupid enough to be out at bars, if there was a shooting, you had to hope to God you could find a phone, like a payphone that worked, or a place of business that was open, so you could get to a phone and call 911. Maybe there was no place open. Maybe that delay cost a life. But now, of course, the sound of the gunshot is still ringing in the air when people can be calling 911. Does that mean the crime's gotten better? No. Means the medical care has gotten better. And they've been lying about this for years. This is that crazy spokesperson from the Biden administration assuring us that crime is at an unbelievably low level. We shouldn't be worrying about this. Don't worry about it. It's not a big deal.
Under this president's leadership, President Biden, violent crime is at a nearly 50-year low. Thanks to the extraordinary efforts of law enforcement and community leaders, Americans are safer from violent crime today than they were a year ago.
Yeah, you believe that? I don't believe that. I believe this. Let's see. This is a funny.
This president's leadership, President Biden, violent crime is at a nearly 50-year low. Thanks to the extraordinary efforts of law enforcement and community leaders, Americans are safer from violent crime today than they were a year ago.
I love her makeup. Love that makeup. Just more on this, Democrats being lying liars who lie all the time. The DC police chief was caught fraudulently lowering violent crime rates. Yet the media and their stooges use these fake stats, and they know they're fake, to try to disprove Trump. Dishonest disinformation disseminators. All utter nonsense. The reported crime drop is fake news. The FBI stopped collecting data from 32% of police agencies. And guess which those are? Every large police department in California has stopped reporting crime data to the FBI. So has New York City. Where do you think most of the violent crime is happening? It's not where I live. It's probably not where you live. It's in these same urban centers where the crime data made them look terrible. So they stopped collecting it. By the way, that's why they simultaneously stopped collecting crime data that included the demographic factor of race, and why they so consistently lie now about the race of the participant. Do you know that if someone comes here from India and commits a violent crime, say against a child, weird how often that happens, and they could be as dark-skinned a person as you've ever seen, because they're from India, they get classified as white in the criminal data. All the third worlders from Central, South America, from almost anywhere in the world, they commit a crime in America, they get booked, they get classified as white. To conflate the crime being committed by these illegal migrant third world invaders of our nation with people like you and me, because we're the same demographic for crime purposes? Of course not. But if people knew the truth about the savagery that was released upon the American citizenry by these illegal migrant third world invaders, on top of our own fatigue demographic, well, the Democrats might not be a viable political party anymore. Bam. And that's exactly where we are. This is the fake data that we're currently getting out of Washington, D.C. See if I can make that bigger so we can read it. Washington, D.C., of course, there is on the left a murder rate of about 27 per 100,000. Almost double that of Bogota, then Mexico City. Islamabad, Lima, Ottawa, Paris, Havana, Delhi, London, Madrid. And this is the fake Washington, D.C. data. The actual Washington, D.C. data is double this. It's closer to 50 per 100,000. So, but even if we believe their fake data, even if we believe when they say, well, it's 27 per 100,000, that's a 30-year low for Washington, D.C. Are we supposed to be proud of this? That it's almost double the murder rate of Bogota? It's a multiple of the murder rate of Islamabad, the nation's capital. And of course, we know it's a lie by other metrics that are harder to conceal. Carjackings. People get their car jacked and they report it to their insurance because they need to get another car. That's hard to hide. Between 2018 and 2023, an almost six-fold increase in carjackings. Which is a violent seizure of a car from the owner while the owner is in the car. We're supposed to believe that violent crime has gone down. How stupid can we be? We're supposed to believe violent crime is down, even though the carjackings and car thefts got so bad in D.C. that the police department, the Metropolitan Police Department, started giving out free AirTags that you can hide in your vehicle to assist in recovery when it was stolen. Yet it's not a problem. Violent crime is not a problem. This clip I included largely for the gentleman in the audience. No offense, ladies. Let's see what this young lady has to say. Violent crime in D.C. is so low that this is what the grocery stores are having to do.
So starting today at 12 giant grocery stores in D.C. and Maryland, if you have a bag over 14 inches, you cannot take it inside the store. So what does that look like? Here's a backpack, 14 inches, this one.
Oh my God, it's a woman with a tape measure. Run, fellas, run.
Can't go in. Also, if you're under 18 years old, you cannot go into the store after 6 p.m. without an adult. Giant store leaders say it is all because of thieves, and shoppers we spoke to say all these new rules, these are a small price to pay.
It's a private business. They can set their own rules.
Look at this woman. If we had a translator, if we were reading the words inside her head, she'd be saying, listen, if we got to keep the fatigue demographic out of the store so I can shop for my family's food, then that's just what we got to do. I don't make the rules.
You know, if you don't like it, shop somewhere else.
If you don't like it, maybe stop bringing your backpacks in and shoplifting the F out of the store.
Would also keep prices down for us as a consumer. And I think the stores are trying to do the best that they can.
You think she's worried about prices going up because a bunch of Amish, a bunch of Mennonites are going to come into the giant supermarket and clean out the shelves and run out of the store?
To help the consumer out. And if that's what it takes, then that's what they have to do.
I'm for anything that works. If it makes anything better for the community, and if it works for the kids to keep the kids from coming in, I think because you should teach the kids not to steal.
Even the fatigue demographic is fatigued by the fatigue demographic. It's come first full circle. And the Democrats wonder why they're under 20%. Oh.
So anything,
simple, right?
Yeah, anything that works for the community and everybody else.
It's unfortunate because
Oh my God, what the hell is this? It's Ant Woman. If I hear a buzzing sound, I'm going to get really nervous.
a lot of thefts has been happening, and that's the reason why. So they got to do something. Otherwise, we won't have a giant. So to prevent.
Yeah, they're starting to realize all these food deserts. It's not racism, folks. It's just rampant thievery by your community. Some more DC crime statistics. DC has the 4th highest homicide rate in the U.S., the 4th highest. Our nation's capital. Winning from the Democrats' perspective. And that's if we believe the fake number. 27 homicides per 100,000. We know a year prior, before they started cooking the books this aggressively, it was double that. What would have cut the homicide rate in half in Washington, D.C. in a single year? What changed? Anything? What was the policy change? Can anyone tell me? D.C.'s homicide rate is 6 times higher than New York City. 4 times higher than L.A. Double Newark. You ever been to Newark? Talk about a dump. Beats out Atlanta, Chicago, Compton, Oakland. And again, it's really double those figures. And it's double what it used to be. Even the fake number, DC's fake murder rate, is nearly double what it was in 2012. But that's a made-up crime crisis, supposedly. Double what it was 12 years ago in DC alone. And again, that's if we're using the fake DC number. Thanks for watching this highlight segment of our full-length Law of Self-Defense live stream. If you enjoyed this content, make sure to give us a like and subscribe for more expert analysis on politics, law, and how to be hard to convict. And to watch the full-length episode of this show, just click right here. Stay safe.